So, Crackdown 3. Disclaimer, I hadn't played it before until this weekend, or this weekend that's just passed, I should say, as I'm recording this on a Monday morning. We'll get to that later. Metascore, 54. User score, 2.9. It's either really good, isn't it, at Metascore, or rather Metacritic. It's either really good or really bad. There never seems to be a middle ground. But anyway, I remember this Edge magazine review. Here it is. They give it a 5 out of 10. They'd say, we'd be lying if we pretended we didn't have some fun with it, but it only works in the same way a McDonald's occasionally hits the spot. This is cheap junk food gaming that comes with a side order of regret. The criticism from the media didn't end there. We had PC Games Review gave it a 6 out of 10. The bland, repetitive mission design and a boring story make Crackdown 3 a quite forgettable experience, and I really wish Edge would stop telling me to search with Bing. Does anyone actually search with Bing? So yeah, the user score 2.9. Always take user scores with a pinch of salt. I must have said that on this channel a million times before, but here they are. Iristal said back in Feb 2019, a 1 out of 10. This game is awful. Let's start with a crossplay feature. When playing with a friend that is playing on console, the game is locked to 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second? My rig is capable of running this at 1,000 million frames per second and higher. Again, take with a pinch of salt. This person just wants to show off how powerful their gaming PC is. Anyway, let's get to the footage I captured earlier. I thought I'd download this. It is still on Game Pass, so I didn't have to spend any money. It's the PC version I have been playing. Yeah, let's get into this. So I've been playing for a good few hours, so I've given it a fair crack of the whip, as they say. This is very early on in the game, guys. This is footage I captured way earlier. It's like the first 10 minutes or so. So if you did plan on playing this for whatever reason, don't worry, nothing major will be spoiled for you. This is like learning the ropes of the game, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, the first thing I thought was the graphical style, the art style is really nice. I like the futuristic vibe going on, and yeah, I know Crackdown 1 and Crackdown 2 had all that, and this didn't disappoint. This is, again, PC version on Game Pass. I managed to run everything in ultra in regards to graphics, so everything's pumped up to max, 60 frames per second. It's buttery smooth to play. But gameplay. No, I don't think this game is as bad as it was way back, or as they say it was way back. Now, I know some people did enjoy this game. The general consensus for Crackdown 3 is not that it's a bad game. There's a lot of people, especially in the fan base, who enjoyed this game, okay? So, I wanted to get that out there. Not everyone thinks this is bad, but there are a lot of people. Because it put me off playing it. I remember the reviews would put me off playing it, and I'm kind of contradicting myself, because I always say to you guys, it's all about what you think. It's your opinion, it's your personal preference when it comes to your video games, to your music, all the media you consume. It's your opinion that matters. It's how you feel about something. So yeah, like I say, I let them cloud my judgment, or rather it put me off buying the game or playing the game. I don't think I owned Game Pass, or I didn't subscribe to it when this first launched. Was it 2019? So I didn't get to play it because of that, and I learned my lesson, because this is fun. But let's not beat around the bush with this, and I don't beat around the bush. It's fun for a few hours, and then I was very bored. I couldn't see myself going back to finish this story. I haven't touched the multiplayer. This isn't about the multiplayer. This is purely about story, single player mode, which I think you can play co-op, because I think that dude was on about it earlier in Metacritic, wasn't he? So yeah, it's very repetitive. The main issue I think Crackdown 3 has is it feels like it's a game from the Xbox 360 era. So playing this kind of game way back then, 2006, 2007, 2008 kind of era would have been fine. But not in 2019 and 2020. This is not, I was going to say acceptable. It is acceptable, and it's on Game Pass. So most people who have played this may not have paid anything for it. It'll just be included in their subscription. But it doesn't feel like a current generation video game or computer game. Not to me anyway. The gunplay's okay, it's decent, but the plaudits kind of end there, guys. Like, at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is good. I can see this being one of those videos where I'm like, nah, man, haters gonna hate. This is really cool, like, they were wrong, and I can't. I'm gonna be that person who has found some middle ground and tries to be balanced with this. It's not as bad, again, as the media say. Is it a 5 out of 10? I wouldn't go that far. Is it a 7 out of 10? Probably not. This probably hovers between kind of 6, maybe 7. Maybe 7. Again, these are just my personal thoughts. There's no structure to this video. Like a lot of my videos, guys, I'm just chatting with you, giving you my thoughts of this game and the time I've spent with it. I think I've played for 4-ish hours. And that 4 hours was a slog. But by the end of it, it was a slog. And I was like, I'm glad I've played this now, because I've been putting it off for years. And I really enjoyed the original games. Like, wasn't Crackdown 2, or it might have been 1, everyone just bought it because you got the Halo 3 beta bundled with it. And everyone was like, I'll just buy Crackdown. I can get to play Halo 3. I'm pretty sure it was the original, actually. But anyway, that's completely going off subject. Yeah, this game's repetitive. Very, very repetitive. The story's okay. It's kind of throwaway. This is one of those games, and correct me if you think I'm way off here or I'm being really, really harsh. But in like modern day video games, when you go into like an arcade and you can like put money into it and you play the game within the game, very meta. This feels like one of those. It's like you're playing a game that is free to play, or rather just like part of your RPG experience in a bigger AAA experience. If that makes any sense whatsoever. It feels like one of them to me. It's just like, yeah, how long could I actually play this? Could I get all the collectibles and all that kind of thing? No. Because these environments at first look great. I like the aesthetic. I love anything that's cyberpunky, futuristic. It's right up my street. I didn't hate Cyberpunk on launch. Go check out my review, guys. You'll see there. I actually loved it at launch. I thought it was really good. Despite the bugs, I loved that city. I loved soaking up that atmosphere, and the story had me gripped. This isn't one of those games. This is completely throwaway. And I just wanted to make a video about it. But I remember someone in the media saying that if they wanted to play Crackdown, they wouldn't play this. They would just go back and play the originals because they just do it better. I don't know about that. This is Crackdown. It's like playing one of the originals, but with shiny extra HD. Is that such a thing? Extra HD? Really pretty graphics, because they are pretty. But again, it just feels like a budget title to me. It's completely forgettable, isn't it? I don't know why I'm asking you guys, because there's going to be loads of people in the comments with differing reviews. I don't want you to agree with me. Again, I want you to have your own opinions. But I personally don't think this game is very good. But I don't think it's very bad either. So it's one of those, oh, Chorizo, you're just on the fence here. But it's how I feel, guys. If I would have had to review this back in the day, I was getting paid a salary by IGN or GameSpot. The 4s and the 5s are harsh. And again, maybe 7's too high. So you're all just saying to me, Chorizo, why don't you just give it a 6? A 6 out of 10. All right, a 6 out of 10. And a lot of people did give this a 6 out of 10. But yeah, that's my thoughts, guys, on Crackdown 3. I might try the multiplayer. Does anyone still play the multiplayer on this? Can you? Are the servers still alive? But yeah, let me know in the comments if you think this is a bad game, basically. And also let me know how you think it stands up next to Crackdown 1, Crackdown 2. Out of the 3, what's your favourite, what's your worst, basically? Because I'm still on the fence about that. I can't... I need to go back and emulate some Xbox 360 version of Crackdown, I think. It's going to feel very rough and look rough, isn't it? After playing Crackdown 3, I assume, anyway. But, yeah, Crackdown 3, meh. It's just meh. It's boring, but it's not terrible. It's alright to jump into, actually. It's one of those games where... And I do this with some games, or some gaming. I wear the AirPods and I listen to a podcast. I catch up on my podcasts. Because I'm subscribed to about 183 podcasts. And I catch up on my podcasts and I do some gaming. It used to be with stuff like Gran Turismo and whatever. This is one of those games. Run around, get the collectibles, kill stuff, climb walls, drive up walls, and listen to your podcasts. It's the ultimate podcast gaming experience, guys. That is my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on Crackdown 3 on PC. I'm pretty sure Series X version, Xbox versions will be more or less identical. And yeah, it's not really that bad, but it's boring. I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.